Okay. So here first we will talk about your attack plan, how you are going to do the attack. Then we'll be talking about how you can do incident response on that particular attack. Okay. So attack is very simple. Your goal is to attack a ATM terminal. Okay. The section provides an example of a planned cyber attack. In this example, a criminal tries to gain control over a ATM control system of a bank. Okay. We are trying to get control of a ATM gateway so that we can withdraw money from your ATM terminals. Okay. So first of all, since my target is a bank, my target is a bank. So my first step is reconnaissance. I have to gather information about each and every bank, and out of, let's say I have gathered information about 5 banks. Out of this 5, I have to choose my target which has a very least security. So out of these 5, I will choose one target. Okay, so let's see this thing, what all things will be doing. Attack goal, payload, exploit, and means of delivery. The goal is to withdraw money from your ATM terminals. The goal is achieved when you gain control of a ATM gateway. Okay. Payload of the attack is loader software. So here our weapon which we'll be using is a loader software. What this loader software will do, it will download and install your bot software. So bot software, let's say it's your Trojan. Okay, so with the help of your payload, I am installing a Trojan. Similarly, same example which we discussed, right? But the scenario is different. Now we will go step by step and let's see what all things we'll be doing. We'll go with step 1, reconnaissance. Attacker gains information about the way to compromise your ATM terminals. Okay. To do so, the attacker must gain control of ATM gateway of a bank, which is again heavily protected. I created a list of banks that uses same type of ATM gateway. And out of that particular list, I used a bank, right? I selected a bank which is having least amount of security. I will also obtain your corporate emails of your employees that are working over there for your phishing attack, for your delivery. Okay, so 2 things I'm doing in reconnaissance. First thing is gathering info for a bank. After I gathered the info, after I selected my target, gathering corporate emails. Okay, 2 things I'm doing over here. Second is weaponization. Now we need to create a weapon. Now here in this, you can see I'm doing a spear phishing attack. Who will tell me what is a spear phishing attack? What is a spear phishing attack?
We target a group of uh, users. And,
Okay, yeah. Our target are selected individuals. I'm not targeting everyone. Okay, I will select my target and then I will do your phishing attack. That is your spear phishing. So here in your this particular case study, your attacker is not targeting every employee. We are doing a spear phishing attack, meaning out of 100 people, I'm targeting only, let's say, 10 people. Okay. Because why I'm doing this thing? I'm doing an attack on bank. It means physical security will be very, very high, right? Then what I will do, I will choose a payload, exploit, and means of delivery. Means of delivery will be again my email described in your attack goal and payload exploit. Okay, so in the starting, what we discussed, For your payload, we will create a loader software. What this loader software will do, it will install a bot software. Using this bot software, what will happen? We will get command and control. Okay, these things we already created in your weaponization. Now going forward, third is your delivery. I'm doing a spear phishing attack, so it is very easy for me because in stage 1 I already gathered your corporate emails. Okay, so then I'm doing a spear phishing attack. I'm doing this attack on financial department employees. My target is people who are working in financial department. Okay, this is my target. Now this is the phishing email that I created. This is your phishing email. So read this email and tell me the weak points. By reading this particular email, how you will identify whether this email is genuine or not. Okay, so 2 minutes, read this thing and let me know what are the weak points that will help you identify whether this email is genuine or not. What are the problems in this particular email? No one is able to find anything suspicious in this particular email.
Mail is not addressed by name. It is just generic.
Okay, 1 point. What else?
So he inviting the or whoever receiving the email to click on the attachment,
Okay.
and then just inviting them to do so. Otherwise, you present some risk,
Very good.
and
So
then
creating
also
a
inviting to
creating
share with others. So
very good. Creating a urgent situation. Okay. Creating a urgency. What else?
Yes, in the first line, the Bank of Russia issued ordinance number इतने on assessing bank's economic situation, registered by the Ministry of Justice of the Russia. So, in this case, see why this Ministry of Justice is involved. I think Ministry of Finance should be involved.
Okay. Okay. Good point. Good point. Anything else? See, one more problem is they have not written who is the sender. Sender info is not present. They have only UBI logo that you are getting the mail from Central Bank of Russian Federation. Okay, but in that bank also someone might be the sender, right? At last we write your sincerely your regards and all, and then writing your name that I am the sender of this particular email. Sender name is missing. One more point in this particular part. Okay, so overall this is not a proper email, okay, that you send over your organization. The format is not very proper. Okay, this is one point. Second is in every paragraph they are trying to create a urgent situation that you have to anyhow click on this PDF, right? Anyhow you have to open this PDF in your system. Okay, it means this PDF, right, your 3976 u.pdf, this thing contains your loader software, okay, your malware. That is why on every line I'm telling this particular person that you have to open this thing. Okay, open this thing, otherwise you will face some consequences. Okay, share this thing with everyone so that their systems will also get affected. Okay, so these are few of the problems with this particular email. Even in your subject you can see they have written important. Even in the subject itself they have created an urgent situation that this mail is important to you. Okay, so this was the mail which was sent to your target. Last is your exploitation. Once an employee open this particular PDF, the loader software are copied to the employee's computer hard disk and the loader software is added to the startup program. So what my payload is doing, my payload is automatically adding your loader software to your startup. Why to your startup? Because every time a machine starts, there are some functions, right? There are some programs which will automatically run, right? So if I add my malware at your startup, what will happen? I don't need your permission. Automatically, whenever you start your machine, my malware will run without your permission. Okay, so that is why what I'm doing, I created this loader software in such a way that it will be added in your startup program list. It will run automatically whenever you start your system. Okay, so once your loader software is at your startup program, now is your installation part. So installation, what I will do with the help of this loader, I will add your bot software. I will add your bot software. On the next startup of the compromised system, once I have restarted my system, the operating system will run the loader software. The loader software will download the bot software, install it, and add it to the list of startup programs. So I'm adding my bot software to your startup program. After these actions are completed, the loader software will monitor the status of bot software. Loader software is responsible to maintain your bot software. If my antivirus or if my target itself is installing this thing, it is the job of your loader software to reinstall it again. Here you can see, if the bot software is not present in the system, the loader software will repeat the installation step again. Okay, so loader software is very, very important to us, right, to the attacker. Now here you can see in your task manager, in your startup list, ics.exe is present. Okay, what is this file? ics.exe. What is this file in your Windows? Do a quick Google search.
It will record the keyboard and mouse inputs.
It will record the keyboard and mouse input. Okay. Anyone else who got something new? Do you know this thing is responsible for maintaining your security policy? This particular program is responsible for managing your security policies for your operating system. Okay, so if you terminate this particular process, you might even get a logout from your system, right? Because in your security policy, there will be a policy for your login also. Okay, so this is very important process. Very important. So what I did, I named my loader software with this name only. I named my loader software with your ics.exe only, so that during your troubleshooting part, no one can identify that a malicious software is present in my startup menu. Okay, then with the help of bot software, I established the command and control, then action on objective. I did the lateral movement. First I compromised my target. From my target I compromised other targets, and with the help of these targets I compromised your ATM terminal. The goal is to set up compromise the computer where an administrator account has been logged. since the last operating system startup. Okay, so like this, I did my lateral movement and I got control over your administrator account, administrative system, who was responsible for your managing ATM terminal. This was my first. Second was stealing the credential from your administrator using your software called Mimikatz. Okay, Mimikatz is again a software through which you can crack your hashes or crack your passwords. Then last, once I get the credentials of admin, I use those credentials to compromise your ATM gateway, and using that I got access to your ATM terminals and I stole the machine. I stole the money. After achieving, I always told you, clearing your trace is very important step, because if you are leaving your traces, anyone can trace you back. So attacker is reach, the attacker commands the bot software to destroy any evidence of the attack. The bot software delete itself, the loader software and the mimicates from the compromised system. But what it forgot, it forgot to remove the logs. It only deleted the bot software, loader software and mimicates, but it forgot to delete your logs. Okay, so that is why during your incident response we got to know this about this attack with the help of your logs only. So this is how we learned how the attacker did the attack. Now we will talk about your incident response. First step is always preparation. First step is always your preparation part, that how you will prepare for an attack. Preparation part, the section describes defensive measures taken by a bank to prevent any kind of cyber attacks. Okay, this is your bank network. Tell me the weak points or tell me the problem in this particular network. What are the problems in this architecture? What are the problems?
There is no DMZ zone.
There is no DMZ zone. Okay,
There is no firewall or a WAF.
very good. DMZ is missing. No firewall. What else? What else? What are the problems?
ADS IPS is not there.
IDS IPS is not there. Okay. You are missing one of the most major and important problem. Identify. What can be the problem? We discuss about all the solutions, right? Firewall is not there, IDS IPS is not there, right? We don't have a DMZ for your public facing servers. Anyone else who got any problems in this architecture?
Uh, um, looking at a router placement, I don't know if it's supposed to be there.
Very good. This router is your single point of failure. If this router is compromised, your complete network is compromised. You can see everything is connected to this router. Every system, every server, everything is connected to your router. So even if you are compromising this router, everything is under your control. This is one of the major problem in this network, right? Even though like we don't have firewall IDs and IPs, right? No problem with that, right? I can have SIM to detect my logs and all, right? But if someone compromises this thing, my network is getting compromised. Complete network, right? The ATM gateway itself, because it is connected to your router only. Okay, so my other approach is, as an attacker, if I compromise this thing, I have control over network. Okay, this is one of the major problem, single point of failure we have. Anything else? We have your SIM, we have your mail transfer agent, we have your proxy server, we have your systems, gateways present. SIM is being monitored on this particular device, right? We are getting threat intelligence from your Casper Sky data, threat data feed to our SIM solutions, right? Everything is there, right? Some of the solutions are missing. I will say your security controls. Security controls are missing, and your single point of failure is present. So preparation is not that good. Okay, with respect to your preparation, it is not that good. It is very basic preparation. So here you can see what all things we did for preparation. Internet access to organization network with the help of proxy servers, using your Portfish mail transfer agent for transferring organization email messages. Everything is connected with your endpoint security, right? Every workstation is connected with your Kaspersky endpoint security. router of the bank operates in Linux operating system. The ATM gateway and the ATM terminals are located in isolated network. Only a smaller number of users are permitted to this. But if someone compromises this router, these two things are compromised. The bank has an active subscription for Kaspersky Threat Intelligence post portal solution, right? So from this particular part, we are getting your threat data feed. Okay, so with respect to preparation, it is basic. I will not say it is good or very advanced. The preparation is very basics, very basic. Then second phase is identification. How were we able to identify? Because the bank uses SIM system. I told you that during your cleaning part, okay, clearing your trace part, you forgot to remove logs. Because of that, your SIM was able to detect the malicious URL which was coming from your logs, and this URL we got from your data feed. Okay, so this URL is acting as indication of compromise. Okay, so they are talking about these things only. The attacker would have probably identified at one of these stages. The IP address of the server used by attacker to send the spear phishing email matches the IP reputational threat feed which is given to your SIM. In this case, your attacker will be identified at your delivery stage. Okay. Second is the request for downloading the bot software will match a malicious URL threat feed. So during your installation part, we are identifying this thing. The request for connection CNC server will match botnet CNC URL. In this case, it is identified at CNC. Mimicates will be detected by your Kaspersky endpoint security, and this thing will be identified at your action on objective. Why? Because we were using this thing to get your credentials from a particular system. Okay, so at different fields, right, at different stages, we can identify this particular attack. The attack is unlikely to succeed because preventing the attacker from executing any stage in the attack lifecycle blocks the attack. That is why we are learning your cyber kill chain lifecycle. That if you are able to block a single stage, attacker cannot move from next stage. Okay, from current to next stage. That is why for a security person, it is very important to know what are the stages in which our attacker can attack. Okay, so for example, we have assumed that attacker reached the CNC stage. The identification phase of IR process begins with the member of security team receives an incident trigger. We got an alert. We got an alert at your SIM that a IP has been detected. A malicious IP has been detected. So this was the alert. Okay, this is the alert which we got. So this was your stage number 2, identification. That at what particular stage we have identified. Then comes your containment, that how you will isolate that particular device. So what I will do, I will not separate that device, right? I will simply isolate that device from my network. So first identify that which computer is compromised. Okay, then after identifying, we will be isolating that particular computer. Okay, so here what I'm doing, I'm simply blocking the IP of that computer over my router. Any request that is coming to that device, it should be dropped automatically from at your router. Okay, so this is the command. Second, after blocking that particular device, right, over your router, what we will do, we will identify your attack vector. This thing we will do with the help of your SIM solution, because SIM solution was able to identify that particular attack with the help of your thread feed, okay, your thread data. So we will use that thing only to identify that what all things went wrong. Then analyzing the malicious software, we will analyze your bot software also. Okay, so sys internal tool, I will tell you in digital forensics that what is this internal tool, because this tool can help you learn everything with respect to your windows. Okay, if in your windows you can do n number of things, everything is present in this particular utility sys internal. Okay, so remember I gave you a command auto runs in the starting, right? I gave you a command that you need to execute this command and get me the output auto runs. This command will tell you each and every system application that is right now running in your system. Okay, and this command is part of your sysinternal utility. I will give you a homework also for this thing because this thing will help you master your windows. As a security person, you will have every idea that what all things you can find in your windows machine with the help of this tool, right? So I will give you a task for this also. Then with the help of your sysinternal tool, we were able to find that your ics.exe.lnk is running, okay, with the help of your auto runs. Then we identified this thing and we got the memory information with the help of your volatility framework. Okay, this is a framework again, volatility. Using this framework, what you can do, you can get information about your memory, that right now in your memory what all processes are running, what all process are running. So with the help of this framework, we got to know the current memory dump of your isolated device. So can you identify out of these process which process is your uh, load balancer one? Okay, which one is your loader file out of these process? Can anyone identify? Again, I will give you guys five minutes. Read each and every command, right? This is the name of that process. This is your memory address for that process. This is your process ID. This is your parent process ID. Parent process ID. This is your thread. This is your session. Okay. So tell me out of these process, which one according to you is your loader software process, which is right now running in your memory? Tell me this. See, in the starting, we already know that your loader software was with the name ISIS, right? So either this one will be the answer or this one will be the answer. So out of A and B, according to you, which one is malicious software? You have to choose one only, right? I will give you guys 5 minutes, right? Analyze this table very strongly and then tell me the answer. That according to you, which one is malicious? A and B. I need answers from everyone. Which one is your malicious software, A or B?
One website says option A, the process ID 516 is malicious.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, we got one vote for this one, A. So one vote for A. What about others?
I think it's B.
B. Okay. What about others? Which one? We got only two answers and the voting is equal. One vote for A, one vote for B. Take a guess. If you're not able to guess the correct answer, right? Take a wild guess.
I would say A.
A, okay. 3 votes. Anyone else who want to take a guess? Okay, let's see. Right. So process ID for this one is 516. Process ID for this is 2336. Now here you can see parent process ID for your Internet Explorer, right? For your explorer.exe. This is your parent ID. For your Winnet, okay, for your Winnet, this is your parent process ID. So do you allow your startup programs without your permission start Explorer, start Internet Explorer? Do you want this thing that your startup programs are starting automatically Internet Explorer without your permissions? Do you want this thing? No, right? I don't want that any of my application is without my permission using any of my browser, not just Internet Explorer, any of my browser. I never want that thing in my system. Okay, so since I told you what is happening in the starting, your loader software, it will install bot software. So to install this thing, you need access to your browser. You need access to your browser, then only you can install this thing. So here this particular B is starting your Internet Explorer. This B is starting your Internet Explorer. So B1 is your malicious. B1 is your malicious one. Okay, this is one way to find. This is one way to find by matching your process ID and your parent process ID. Second is by simply looking at your session. Session 1 will be for a normal user. Session 0 will be for your admin. So out of these two, your A and B, this is your session 0, this is your session 1. Okay, so 01 will always be for your admin. Okay, which is starting programs which are starting without you logging over your computer. Okay, automatically started by operating system. Session 1 will be the programs which have started after you logged in, after the user logged in. Okay, so from this particular part also you can get the info. Okay, so clear with this, that why this particular B1 is your malicious, because B is starting Explorer. Okay, and this one is starting your Winnet. Do a quick Google search and tell me what is the function of this particular application. Tell me the function of Winnet. Do a quick Google search and tell me the answer for this. The job of this particular function is to start your startup program. The job of this particular function is to start your startup programs, right? So if this thing is not present, your startup programs will never get executed automatically by your operating system. Okay, so your Winnet will start your startup applications which you have written or which you have selected in that particular startup list. Okay, so this is a legitimate request. Now with the help of your memory we got to know that which one is malicious. Okay, out of these two, then what I will do, so here you can see they are also explaining this thing with the help of a process ID only, right? Then we did some security fragmentation with the help of your string utility, and I got to know that what is the URL this particular exe file is making a request. Then I got to know about your domain, right? Whatever the strings that are present with respect to this file, I got to know about this thing, and then I got the URL. This is the URL that is getting requested by your loader software. Okay, so this is your indicator of compromise, and this thing is only detected by your SIM system. Then what I did, I sent this particular sample to your Kaspersky. The last step is analyzing the malicious software, which is sent to your antivirus software team, your digital forensic part, which we do in your eradication to completely remove the root cause of that particular incident. Okay, the test result came. We got to know the attack was conducted by spear phishing. The exploit is the PDF document. The loader software tries to download bot, and bot will run command and control server. Okay, these things are only with respect to your containment. Now comes your eradication and recovery. So I told you in eradication what all things we do. We remove the root cause analysis and we try to bring your system back in the network with the help of proper configurations and proper patches. So here also I will do this thing. Okay. The security team removes the malicious software from your compromised system. Then all of the computers were scanned for your IOC, this particular URL, which we detected over here. Okay. Then organization router is reconfigured for getting your request for your compromised device. Okay, so again you set the rule for that. This is part of your eradication and recovery. So lesson learned, the security team creates a report about the incident. All IOC obtained from the course incident put on the blacklist to the security control used by organization. And then I taught some awareness training programs for my bank employees, right, about your safe practices while going with your email messages. Okay, so this is the case study for your incident response and your cyber culture framework. Anyone, any kind of question related to this? I think right now you have a clear understanding that what is incident response and cyber culture. Anyone who is having any questions with respect to this particular part? Cool. Now what I will do, I will show you your sys internal, right? So just give me a second. Okay, this is your sys internal. I'm sharing the link with you. You can download it from here. The size will be 50 to 60 MB. Okay. This is your sys internal suite. Size will be 45.9 MB, right? If you want to get it for your VMware, you can download this one, right? You can also download from your Microsoft Store. These are the commands. These are the utilities that is present in this particular suite. And at the left side, you can see categories: file and disk utilities, networking utilities, process utilities, security utilities, system information utilities, and miscellaneous. Okay, these are the categories in which we can divide all the utilities that are present in this particular suite. Okay, so when you will download this thing, it will be in a zip form. Unzip that thing and you will get something like this particular folder. Okay, you will get this particular folder. Most of the utilities are present in this only. Okay, sometimes some of them might not present, but most of them will be present in this particular part only. So what I will do, I will directly open it with your CMD. Okay, right now you can see I'm running this thing with the help of your CMD. Now what we can do, we can use different utilities. We can use your different utilities for getting more info. Okay, for example, If I want to check for all the directories, what all things are present, I can write dir. It will tell me each and everything. Around 159 files are present, right? So I can start anyone. So let's go with your auto runs only. Auto runs, I want to run it for 64.exe, and you can see I am able to run auto runs. Whatever application right now is running in my system, detail is present over here. Every application that is running over here. If I want to check with respect to win logons, right? If I want to check with respect to LSA providers, if I want to check with respect to your network providers, WMI, right? Everything is present over here. Explorers, what all things are present with respect to your folder, right? Okay, this is what your auto runs is. This is what your auto runs is. Now, to understand each and every utility, what you can do, you can open one. Let's say you want to